Welcome. Please stand for the processional of faculty, led by our principal Peyton Chapman, PPS Board Director Amy Constam, and the Lincoln High School admin team.
Please welcome the Lincoln High School class of 2019.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Akili Kelly, and I'm the senior class co-president. And I'd like to ask everyone to remain standing for the singing of the national anthem, and remain standing after the national anthem for the Negro national anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing, sung by Alicia Maupin, Esther Mozipo, and Charlotte Odesanya.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you to those lovely singers. You may be seated at this time. And now I would like to introduce Lincoln High School's principal, Peyton Chapman.
Thank you, Akili. And thank you to Lincoln's concert band and their director, David Kays, for opening tonight. And thank you to choral director Lisa Raffel and her husband, Andy Raffel, also math teacher at Lincoln High School. And to our seniors, Lily, Charlotte, and Alicia, on behalf of our entire community, please know how much gratitude we have for all of you who spend hours practicing and at rehearsals, who take risks on stage, and who are willing to share so much talent and help us feel so many incredible feelings through your gift of music. Thank you so much. Welcome to everyone, our students, faculty, friends, and families. It is truly incredible to see so many people here to help celebrate the class of 2019 and their collective contributions and many achievements. Your presence tonight is a strong visual of the high levels of support that our community provides for our students and their futures, as well as for our public schools. We can't thank you enough for joining in our love for these capable young people who have proven themselves to be our leaders of today, not just our leaders of tomorrow. We also want to take a moment to honor and acknowledge those family members who are no longer with us or can't be here with us tonight. They are sorely missed, and their love is valued and continues through all who knew and loved them. Seniors, it has been my greatest pleasure to serve as your principal for the last 4 years and to welcome you here tonight officially as the Lincoln High School class of 2019. You have helped lead our historic sesquicentennial year, celebrating 150 years of public education in Oregon, starting with Lincoln High School in 1869. Your graduating class is the 210th such group to receive a Lincoln or Portland High School diploma since commencement exercise began in 1875. Yes, I know that exceeds the 150-year existence of our school, but beginning in 1882 until 1947, graduation ceremonies were held in January and February, as well as May and June, because as best we can tell, students were either on a 3 or 4 year graduation track. Don't tell your younger siblings, as we cannot go back to hosting these events twice a year. Public education in Oregon was controversial 150 years ago when people debated why students would need more than an 8th grade education and why the state should pay for learning beyond reading, writing, and arithmetic for anyone other than those who could afford to pay for it themselves. You all are continued proof to all of us who recognize that now, more than ever, our state and our country are in great need not only of an equitable, highly educated citizenry, but a diverse and educated citizenry that understands the need for globally oriented, open-minded, caring, altruistic, respectful, dedicated, and supportive leaders. I firmly believe that all of you demonstrate these core values in one way or another. You can say go Cards if you want. I have come to understand that listing all of your many achievements causes you stress and makes you feel like you're being valued only for your achievement. So while your class has strong plans for life beyond Lincoln, including college and work plans with scholarships and leadership acknowledgments, I want to focus on the community that you helped build. I don't know of any other class who spent as much time welcoming and mentoring younger students than yours. I can't remember a time when students cared more for their planet, inclusion, equity, and justice. I can't think of another class who cheered as loudly for each other than you all did on Friday's assembly. Well, there has always been competition at schools like Lincoln. Your class has pulled together so many times to support each other in our community. It is this sense of community that you will look back on and value most. The tools you have learned at Lincoln, making great friends, creating new clubs, finding affinity with one another, leading teams, planning events and assemblies, educating through teach-ins and race talks and consent lectures, serving as school and local ambassadors, publishing and editing newspapers and publications, managing communications, walkouts and demonstrations, and finding ways to safeguard and celebrate each other. These skills you will take with you everywhere you go to help build a stronger community that will not only shore you up as individuals and help give you purpose and sustenance, but will help support others. You've been taught by your coaches to understand the we is greater than the me. You've been schooled at track practices. It's good to be great, but it's great to be good. We all know you're a great class, but it's your goodness that we will remember about you for years to come. Class of 2019, you now join a vast network of Lincoln alumni who not only have a shared sense of history and place, but a history of civic involvement and activism. Reach out to them to share your story, your passions, your goals, and to seek help and advice when needed. Tonight, I join your parents and teachers, friends of Lincoln, the Lincoln High School Alumni Association, in celebrating this milestone in your lives. It is the first of many to come. We are extremely proud of all of you for your dedicated work and your support and kindness for each other. We are so proud of you tonight and grateful for your leadership, for keeping it real, and for sharing your passions. Please stay connected to all of us in the Lincoln community. Congratulations to the class of 2019.
So we will next hear from one of our Portland Public School board members. Director Amy Constam was first elected to the PPS School Board in 2015 to represent District 3. And this summer, she will begin to serve her second term. She received her K-12 education from PPS and has served on various boards. But most importantly, as she sits on this stage tonight, she is a proud parent of the graduate of the class of 2019. It is with pleasure I introduce Director Amy Constam.
Thank you, Akili. I'm here to extend congratulations on behalf of the Board of Education. It's wonderful to look out on the Lincoln class of 2019 and so many of you. This is one of the biggest classes in recent memory for Lincoln. And as Akili said, you are particularly special to me, but as Principal Chapman said, you're also just plain special. Everyone who has worked with you remarks on the certain vibe of this class that speaks to your kindness and your inclusiveness and your compassion. You have been about widening the tent, whether it's bringing in the flock to support girls' athletics, to instances of really rallying around friends and students who have suffered personal hardship and tragedy, to rallying together around the urgency of climate change. You have a very special bond with one another, and it's infectious. This is the nature of the class of 2019. I was reflecting a little bit on the very thoughtful essay from your classmate Sagarika in the Cardinal Times, and also the remarks at the Senior Assembly about the culture of comparison that can sometimes emerge at Lincoln, given the incredible achievements of so many of you. And tonight is a night where we recognize many of those achievements and the incredible plans that so many of you have, but it's always important to me to also recognize each and every one of you who struggled to get here tonight for graduation and who persevered through incredible challenges, who had to make up credits in the summer or at night, who had unique challenges, and your accomplishments that have brought you here tonight are huge and deserve to be celebrated as loudly and publicly as the achievements we might see printed in this program. So congratulations, every single one of you cards. My hope is that each of you moves on to your plans and dreams, knowing that someone, or a lot of someones in this Cardinal family, really saw you, supported you, got you, lifted you up, and made you believe in yourself. Thank you to those teachers who went out of their way to find that spark in each and every one of you. And I will tell you that on behalf of the Board of Education, one of the things that we constantly keep in mind is what do we need to do to keep improving and transforming the high school experience so that every single one of you finds that class, that activity, that teacher that helps you connect to your passion. I hope you have all found that in your years at Lincoln. Congratulations from one card to another. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Good evening. I'm James McGee, and I'm one of the vice principals here at Lincoln High School. At this time, I would like to introduce the Lincoln High School Choir, who will be singing Stand By Me. Will the faculty of Lincoln High School present tonight please stand? Remain standing, please. I also invite the parents of our graduates tonight to also stand. Now, seniors, stand and face these fine people who have been such a big part of your Lincoln High School education, and give them a round of applause, please. Thank you.
Hello, I am Ben Brandenburger, and I'm the senior class president. And it is my greatest honor and my pleasure to introduce our 2019 senior class. And it is my pleasure to introduce our faculty speaker, Mr. Feta.
Hello, parents, guardians, loved ones, and especially to the soon-to-be graduates of the class of 2019. I see you all now, and I am very happy you are here. You made it. And let's just take a minute. I know the last few weeks have been crazy. It's a whirlwind with curlies and finals, family and friends coming to town. So let's just take a moment to be here right now. So go ahead, close your eyes. Audience, you get to play along too, and just take a couple deep breaths. Let's do another one. Okay, now open your eyes. Now take a moment, class of 2019, to look around at your classmates. This is the last time you will all be together, ever. And share a little gratitude that you started off as freshmen and now you're done. You've made it. And it's time to spread your wings and leave this flock. Woo! You have come a long way since freshman orientation. I remember most of you were there. You were bright-eyed, wondering what was in store for the next 4 years. Some of you I just met as you toured the halls with your Cardinal mentors, and some of you I've known back even longer, all the way to elementary school. And one of you, it goes back to the first minute you took your first breath and looked up at me and your dad with those beautiful brown eyes. And let me tell you, I am so proud of each and every one of you. This has been a journey and an absolute gift to watch you jump in, make some mistakes, pick yourselves back up, and learn. So it is a gift to stand up here in front of you. But before we can call out your names and send you off with your fancy sesquicentennial diploma, there is one more assignment I have for you. If you had me in U.S. history or IB 20th history, or if you had the fantastic Mr. Fox, brilliant Miss Gale, witty Dr. Roberts, eloquent Miss Eisenberg, you were all given an assignment known as the USG, otherwise known as the Unit Study Guide. If you didn't get this assignment, here's your first one. So past students come back year after year, and they say, number one, how the USG study guide method set them up for success. 2, how they still can't believe how much they learned in 20th. And 3, that this tool has helped them time and time again. So I decided, since I'm leaving Lincoln as well, that I better give you one last unit study guide, a USG for life. The first term, dialectical materialism. Oh, okay, I know you know I would find a way to work some Karl Marx in there. But really, the term I'm adding first is the dialectic. The Harvard Press defines the dialectical method as the basis of discourse between 2 or more people
holding different points of view about a subject, but wishing to establish the truth through reasoned arguments. So do this. Investigate controversial topics in your life. Find someone with a different point of view. Step out of your bubble and discuss your ideas. Investigate multiple perspectives. Even if you have to agree to disagree, we need to open our minds and have valuable and dynamic conversations. The second term, Eucharistia, Greek for gratitude. There are many valuable rituals you can do each day, but I believe the most important is to practice gratitude. I know there wasn't a day that went by over the past 4 years that I didn't feel immense thankfulness for teaching all of you and for working with the best teachers and the best staff in the entire world. Woo! Yeah, like that. Gratitude is contagious, and it also gives you more energy, so take one moment out of each day to say thank you. The third term, Scytherism, but it starts with a P. Scytherism is quite simply the sound of the wind in the trees, but it really isn't that simple, because we rarely take the time to listen. When the wind rustles in the leaves, the trees seem to be whispering the secrets of the universe. But you have to get out there, get outside, and walk through the forest. Find that place, whether it's 15 miles up into the Goat Rocks wilderness, whether you backpack and taste the sweat on your brow and hear the wind through a giant western cedar, or whether you're just sitting by the Willamette River next to the fresh cherry blossoms. Listen. This is where you can disconnect from technology and connect to the space between the words, where life is ever changing and where you will fall in love all over again with this incredible planet. This gratitude for nature is infectious. Savor it. It will be the fuel we need to protect the planet and make sustainable choices, so your children and great-grandchildren can listen too. The fourth term, endogenous morphine, aka endorphins. The next concept comes from Aldous Huxley's 1932 novel, A Brave New World, because you always need to have a really good reading on any good USG. A Brave New World questions the possibility that endless pleasure may actually lead to dystopian societies. Although the idea of continual bliss seems idyllic, the reality is often very different. We need pain to provide a contrast for pleasure. Without pain, life becomes dull. A common example of how pain enhances pleasure is the experience known as the runner's high. You know, after you've finished an intense run, you feel exhilaration. The endorphins are pumping. There are other ways to get those endorphins. When you push yourself to the 20th rep of lifting extra weights, or when a dancer completes their 18th routine, learning an instrument, performing a one-act play, or painting a mural. You know this feeling of bliss after intense effort. Don't shy away from pain. Pain is embedded in anything that takes hard work, but pain is useful because pain is what makes us grow. Do things that push you out of your comfort zone. Find your edge. Whether it's giving up sugar for 30 days, signing up for a half marathon, or agreeing to do a graduation speech. Push yourself to do what is uncomfortable. The fifth and final term, andragogy. Andragogy is the art and way of teaching adults. In our teacher ed programs, they teach us about pedagogy, the teaching of a child, but there's another huge challenge in the ability to teach adults. They are way more stubborn and stuck in their ways. But the only true way to learn something is to teach it. And as activities director, I have watched you find your passions and stand up and teach others, whether it be teaching about the awesome power of ionic bonds in the Alchemy Club, or teaching your parents and community members about critical race theory. We have watched you teach about stopping child sex trafficking in the modern world teach-in, and watched you teach our government officials about why we need climate justice curriculum in each and every one of our schools. Woo! We have seen you call to action and train your teachers and administrators on anti-bullying and interrupting microaggressions, and set up tangible services for mental health support. I have watched you form SAFER, Students Active for Ending Rape, and create powerful consent lectures that have taught the entire freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior classes. In fact, we are the first high school in the state of Oregon to be in compliance with Aaron's Law that has trained their entire school on tools to end rape culture and teach about healthy relationships. You are teaching essential skills that our top universities and government agencies are missing. So take these lessons of andragogy you learned from this place and go out and share it with others. Teach the rest of the adults. Teach your peers. They need your lessons. That is what I see as I look at each and every one of your eyes. I see light and depth and kindness and a lot of spunk. I walked into Lincoln 5.5 years ago, hoping to change the world. I knew I loved teaching, but little did I know that you were going to change me. All the while, you were questioning, expanding, learning, and becoming more you. As you challenged Mao and Stalin and Churchill and Gandhi, you learned about totalitarian dictatorships juxtaposed against powerful leaders and nonviolent activists. I chose to be a teacher because there is so much we can learn from history, from multiple perspectives, struggles, triumphs, all the stories of the valiant and the victimized, the glorified and the underrepresented. In your rich discussions, you brought insights that I never dreamed possible. Because the biggest aha moment I have had is that I thought each of you were my students, but in reality, you have been my most powerful teachers. So feel your feet on the floor, look each other in the eyes. The greatest gift is to be there for your life, so show up. That's why they call it the present. Take the time to have dialectics outside your bubble. Listen to the wind in the trees. Push yourself to your edge and know there is always more to learn as you write your own USGs for life. As I move on to broader horizons, I cannot think of a better class in which to finish my tenure. So with that, I want to thank you, class of 2019. We need each and every one of you to be your best version of yourself. You are our greatest gift, and you are our future. Thank you, and go Cards.
Good evening, class of 2019. I am Joanne Watkins, and I'm also a vice principal at Lincoln High School. And I am here to introduce the first of our first two student speakers to the stage. Will Jude Soldati and Iodele Teard Lewis please come forward?
Hello? Okay. When I sat down to write this, I wasn't sure where to start. Where do you start? It seems our whole life has led up to this point, and in a sense, it has. This moment, gathered together in our caps and gowns, is a culmination of every decision we've ever made. It is every failure, every late night, every get to class as you wander the halls for just a little bit too long. But it's also every success, every final math retake, and if you need proof that you're doing something right, let this be it. Because despite all we have gone through, be it mental health or lead in our water, we stand here today to show the world that we made it. My time at Lincoln has been an intense roller coaster of ups and downs. I've battled with depression and suicide. I've been hospitalized and institutionalized. I've been held down, handcuffed, and dragged out of my house. I've dealt with self-harm and overdosing, and days where I would do nothing but lay on the ground and stare at the wall. I have felt so hopelessly lost, but still, I've ended up here. And despite my resistance, I did not make it alone. I could not make it alone. And so even with my worst times, I've also had my best. And I have all of you to thank for that. Times like when Brandon, Max, and I were scrambling to find a way on top of Lincoln because I had thrown Brandon's wrestling bag on the roof just 30 minutes before practice. Or when we sat at the Color Wars assembly and watched as our freshman homecoming court were pelted by what seemed like never-ending volleys of glow sticks thrown by the other classes. I don't think I've laughed harder than seeing freshman Ben stand awkwardly, desperately trying to keep singing Biz Marquis's Just a Friend while facing the onslaught of glowing projectiles. High school. Our journeys have not all been the same, but still, we have ended up here. People have come and gone, defeats have been suffered, victories have been won, and against what life has thrown at us thus far, in the face of adversity, we persist. My friends, these last few years, we have seen the best and worst in ourselves. Let us take this knowledge with us, wherever we may go. We are now freshmen in the realm of life. The world is open. It's been waiting. Let's show them what we can do. Thank you.
Hello. There is no place like Lincoln. And I say this with an eye roll and love in my heart, because Lincoln is an interesting place. It's dynamic. Now let me explain. While it still has a lot of work to do, and it has tested my patience many, many times, it has also provided me with a space to grow, develop, and to come into my own as a person. I think that we all have. I know I went from being in elementary school and thinking that it was going to be like High School Musical to the stark realization in 8th grade that no, I wouldn't look as grown up as Vanessa Hudgens as a freshman. And finally to now, looking back on all that I've accomplished with 8 semesters behind me, and I'm proud. But the reality is that no matter how many hours of studying, deliberating over that thing that is college, or preparing for the future, we're going in blind. And personally, I'm terrified. It sucks, but that's the beauty of life. Now, I may not have been at Lincoln for all 4 years, but that doesn't matter, because Lincoln and the people in it are special in more ways than one. And this school makes its mark on anyone who traverses its halls, particularly certain teachers like Mr. Bliss. For example, you are that teacher. Even though I and many of us have just recently met you this year, I wanted to recognize you and the light you brought to my IB experience. You were a calming presence and a beacon of hope, and a beacon of hope in the torrential sea of IB. During the most trying and chaotic of times, I would see you in the halls, and you would ask me how I was doing. And I knew that you genuinely cared about my answer. You helped me and many of my peers be successful. You are a true educator, and I will forever be grateful for that. And there are a lot of teachers sitting right here before you at Lincoln who have that same impact. Now, some of these some of these wonderful young people sitting before me, I've known for years, since preschool or kindergarten. You know who you are. And others I've only met just this past year. And I curse the universe every day that I hadn't met them sooner. Y'all made it lit. Just want to let you know. But Lincoln gave me that camaraderie. And as they say, a place to find myself. Now, for each one of us, there are thousands of students, of young people out there who don't have the same educational opportunities as us, whether it's finishing high school or going to university. I say this because while we deserve these diplomas and we deserve to be celebrated, there are others out there that don't have this same opportunity. Education is a right and a privilege. So I ask something of you, my peers, classmates, and friends. Go out there, make the world a better place, make it right. Vote, protest, kick, scream, shout, but do it. When people try to hold you down, I want you to rise above. Make it so that this make it so that this feeling right now, this high of graduating, can be experienced by as many young people that come after you as possible. Because the feeling of accomplishment of graduating high school should be shared by all. So I challenge you, show them, show the world what you've got. Thank you.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce Vivace, who will be singing Babel by Mumford and Sons.
I know that time is numbered by days, and I'll go along with everything you say. But I'll ride home laughing, look at me now. The walls of my town, they come crumbling down.
In my ears, you're the call of my unborn son. I know their choices color all I've done. And I'll explain it all to the watchman's son. I never lived here, better spent in love. 'Cause I know my weakness, know my voice, and I believe in grace and choice. And I know perhaps my heart is sparse, but I'll be born without a mask.
the city that nurtured my greed and my pride. I stretched my arms into the sky.
I cried, babe, oh babe, oh, look at me now. The walls in this town, they come crumbling down. You ask where we will stand in the winds that will howl, and all we see will slip into the clouds. So come down from your mountain and look where you've been. You know our breath is weak and our bodies thin.
And now it is my pleasure to introduce two other student speakers this evening. Will Caitlin Aldersey please come to the stage? And we will also hear from Akili Kelly.
Hi. Robert Anthony once said, "The opposite of bravery is not cowardice, but conformity." For the last 4 years, we have all strived for perfection, constantly seeking to be big fish in the small pond of Lincoln. We have shielded ourselves from failure and become so complacent with our place in the world that we have stopped challenging ourselves to be better. And this simply means that we are not big fish. We are conformists. And what I hope each and every one of you today realizes is we are no longer in this small pond of Lincoln. We are now in the vast ocean of real life, where we will face failure, pain, disappointment. We will be washed over with adversity, injustice, and fear. And while this may sound negative, it doesn't mean that we become even more complacent and afraid. Instead, it means now more than ever, we must be brave. Because bravery is what it takes to combat conformity. Bravery is the ability to accept that failure is not fatal. Bravery is understanding that it is simply part of the human experience to feel pain, to feel weak, to feel unworthy. And bravery is opening yourself up to fear. John F. Kennedy once said that conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. When we walk out of this building today, we have a choice. We can either succumb to this jailer of freedom, choose to stay on the continuum of complacency, and live our lives afraid of what we could be. Or we could be brave. There is no doubt in my mind that we will each face our own battles, climb our own mountains, and stare down our own fears. But if you choose to be brave, remember, that when you walk up mountains, your legs only get stronger. Being brave is a test of our character. It will challenge us, it will make us stronger, and it will give us the opportunity to be our best selves. But we are the ones who choose to be brave, to ignore the fear of failure, and to be better than we have been in the past. And by being brave, you will remind yourself every day for the rest of your life that even though you were born with the weakness to fall, you were also born with the strength to rise. Thank you.
As high school students, we have consolidated a breadth of knowledge not only through the books, but through our everyday lives, maturing into young men and women. Philosopher Immanuel Kant popularized the term posteriori in his work Critique of Pure Reason, which refers to knowledge that can only be gained through experience. From the pinnacles of our greatest achievements to the brainless vices, we have learned the consequences from our actions. We have built lifelong relationships. We have conquered the grim horrors of standardized testing. We have had failed gags, some involving alarm clocks and some involving a man named Salim. These are all character building experiences, and as the future leaders of this world, we must carry these valuable virtues of creativity, love, passion, and stoicism into our everyday lives. In exploration, in hard times, in the celebratory moments, no matter how wealthy or how indigent. The world today encapsulates a handful of beauties and a handful of uglies, but it is our duty to transform the world we envision to live in. With that, I leave you today, ladies and gentlemen, with the most important message. Today is the oldest you have ever been and the youngest you will ever be. Tomorrow does not exist, and the past remains untouched. And so it is now that we find ourselves equipped with the power of the present. It is now we hold the power to improve not only ourselves, but our environment. The real testament to this power is how we choose to direct all of our ambitions and the footprint we leave on this world for the successive generations. Today, as we commence, let us not forget that the world is our oyster, so let's all go shine. And as always, go Cards.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Deborah Sankovitz, who is a counselor who works with our foreign exchange students.
Each year, Lincoln High School proudly hosts several exchange students from countries across the globe. These students come with open minds and hearts to experience our education and culture, and we in turn benefit from firsthand opportunities to learn about their countries and perspectives. These experiences help our students become global thinkers and help all of us to become more responsible world citizens. This year, we are grateful that 7 exchange students have become our friends. Exchange students, please come forward to receive your certificates. Lisa Ascherfeld, Germany. Alba Pupella, Italy. Beatrice Ravasini, Italy. Emir Khan Arkashir, Turkey. Rebecca Foles, Italy. Prasu Khanvisatsi, Thailand. and Jacob Askling, Sweden. Thank you, exchange students.
You may have noticed that many students are wearing various colored honor cords and stoles. Each cord and stole has a special recognition and meaning. Many represent a variety of student-run clubs and organizations. The list of these various cords and stoles with descriptions can be found on the back of your program. Students, as your organization is called, will you please stand and be recognized? We do ask that the audience hold their applause until all organizations have been named. So first, advancement via individual determination, our first AVID graduating class. The Black Student Union. Career Technical Education. Lavender Graduation, GSA. Leadership. MECHA. Music Honors. National Honor Society. Students Active for Ending Rape, SAFER. Spanish Immersion. And World Language Honors. In addition to the honor cords and stoles just celebrated, Lincoln High School is proud to offer the International Baccalaureate Program, IB, a comprehensive course of study with world-class academic standards that has helped shape our students into internationally minded global citizens. While studying at Lincoln High School, students may choose to take as few as one IB course or to complete all the requirements to achieve a full IB diploma. This year, we celebrate 79 full IB diploma candidates. Will our 2019 IB diploma candidates please stand? Congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Ginger Taylor, and I am also a vice principal at Lincoln High School. So tonight, the class of 2019 contains numerous award-winning students. Many of them were just introduced. Most of the awards that these and scholarships that these students are being honored with during their senior year were already given other celebrations and ceremonies, our senior awards assembly on Friday. Tonight, we would like to present 5 more scholarships. The first is the T.T. Davis Honor Scholarship. This award was established by the will of Minnie Davis Forsyth, widow of Thompson Davis. Mr. Davis was an eminent scholar and principal of Lincoln High School from 1897 to 1923. It was during his administration that the school took its present name and moved to what is now Portland State University. The sole criterion of this award is scholarship. This is Lincoln's top academic prize. While the monetary reward is slight, the honor is great. And as I call the award winners, would you stand at your chair? This year's recipient is Reed Chen. Arbuckle Cup. This award was established in 1970 by the Lincoln PTA to honor the retirement of Ruth Arbuckle. She was a graduate of 1921. Miss Arbuckle returned to her alma mater and served as an English teacher and counselor for 34 years. Miss Arbuckle earned national prominence as Lincoln's first college coordinator and is regarded by longtime alums as one of our school's most revered staff members. The criteria for this award, as written by Miss Arbuckle, is simple: a sustained academic interest, a thoughtful concern for others, and a warm regard for Lincoln High School. This year's recipient is Willow Ostman. The Susan Pettit Dragon Spirit Award. This award was established in the memory of Susan Pettit, a parent volunteer and an ardent supporter of Lincoln High School. Her affinity for Asian dragons gave inspiration in designing this award. These dragons are larger than life and tend to be magnetic and decisive, but brutally frank. They often devote themselves to idealistic pursuits. Dragons strive for perfection in themselves and expect it from others, but most have a soft, sentimental underbelly. The dragon symbolizes action, energy, and movement. This year, we have two recipients of the Susan Pettit Dragon Spirit Award: George Green and Asher Abel. Where is he? This next award is the Millennium Scholarship, first created by the class of 2000 at the urging of their class advisor, David Bailey. Each year, the senior class donates a portion of their money to this scholarship, thus keeping it a perpetual award. The criteria established for this scholarship include the following: the student places the school before him or herself. The student is willing to take on any assignment, no matter the job. The student is utterly trustworthy in the accomplishment of any task and has demonstrated unselfish service to the school. Unquestionably, hard work and determination are hallmarks of this individual. This year, we are pleased to award the scholarship to Alex Paschal. Where is he? Congratulations to all of you award winners, and now I would like to invite Lincoln High School's Arabic teacher to the stage, Rakaya Gerard. She will present our last award for the evening. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hello everybody and marhaba. The next award is for the 2019 Bertha Hunter Foreign Language Scholarship. Bertha Hunter was the Latin instructor and girls counselor for the Lincoln class of 1952. She was a teacher at Lincoln for 29 years, from 1923 to 1952. Ms. Hunter upheld very classical traditions. She encouraged her students to study hard and focus on the subject matter. She also stressed the importance of being punctual. She was very talented in her ability to motivate students and increase self-confidence. Ms. Hunter helped students to see the value in being lifelong learners. This year's recipient of Bertha Hunter Foreign Language Scholarship is Ella Miloy.
Again, great job to our award winners tonight. And now I would like to invite our senior class president, Ben Brandenburger, back to the stage, or back to the microphone.
Principal Chapman, I now present the graduating class of 2019. These students have completed the graduation requirements set forth by Portland Public Schools and the state of Oregon. Row B, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Asher William Abel.
Caitlin Conway Aldersey.
Sydney Abbots.
Jude James Soldati.
María del Pilar Agudelo.
Iodeli Tayard.
Sebastian Alberti.
Alicia Margareta Maupin.
Tasman Revere Alexander.
Esther Orly Mozipo.
Naomi Allen.
Charlotte Bell Odusanya.
Areem Abdullah Araji.
Kendall Grace Aceta.
Abhishek Anand.
Harsha Sai.
Jane Catherine Anderson.
Helena Batul Alavi.
Ella Ando.
Clayton Robert McConnell Allen.
Aiden Armstrong.
Indigo Allred.
Greer Armstrong.
Ty Ambrose.
Shannon Armstrong.
Dane Anderson.
Samantha Adela Artiega.
Charlotte Grace Anderson.
Evelyn Faye Babby.
Estelle Violet Archer.
Zia Bajwa.
Ewan McKay Roberts Armstrong.
Delara Balkan.
Lauren McKay Roberts Armstrong.
Samantha Bauer.
Taversai Lee Arnold.
Kyla Jane Becker.
Nydia Esther Avila.
Genoa Benton.
Adia Baines.
Emojine McNamara Binnigan.
Lena Raven Balderas.
Alessandro Bifulco.
Elliot S. Balmer.
Avery Billow.
Griffin Edward Max Barbieri.
Abigail Hannah Backford.
Gustav Christian Bauer.
Jasper Braun.
Sydney H. Bell.
Sasha Brikowski.
Felix Cornelius Benz.
Jordan Alexander Bruce.
Corinna Lee Beelan.
Caitlin Mintu Boyd.
Kai Kum-Young Billingsley.
Olivia Butler.
Thomas Selwyn Bingham.
Julián Tomás Calderón.
Hannah Bradley.
Sarah Adele Campbell.
Natalie Mia Browser.
Gavin Carlson.
Tyler Jewel Brown.
Yarn Cheriton.
Pearl Brum.
Reed Douglas Chen Su Chen.
Tyler Anthony Burrell.
Sebastian Antoine Chevalier.
Presley Lawrence Emile Cable.
Spencer James Chouinard.
Connor McLean Campbell.
Maya Clark.
Lori Yosemite Caputi.
Brianna Michelle Corbett.
Caroline Susan Carton.
Will H. Kozan.
Jared Chen.
Declan Hain Cruz.
Sophia Chen.
Luca Santiago de Alvarez.
Piper A. Christopher.
Andrew Delsell.
Carson Grace Coville.
Audrey Dennis.
Gabrielle Fabiola Cozy.
Parker Denton.
Rosemarie Crawford.
Lisbeth Diaz Espinosa.
Jennifer Dane.
Madeline Dix.
Chani Daly Welly.
Grace Caroline Dunn.
Pim Lee Denny.
Tyler Dunst.
Nicholas Eric Deppa.
Danielle Dubuis.
Stuart Diffley.
Leah Eden.
Annabella Dominic.
Christopher Elphick.
Sydney Dunn.
Colin Michael Elliott.
Megan Ini Tui Duong.
Ivan Albert Elsner.
Kalina Alin Ekman.
Alice Yvonne Evans.
Elizabeth Eckhouse.
Jessica Font Sands.
Andrew Scott Elliott.
McKeon Roland Farno.
Frank Mitchell Elsner III.
Altair Electra Vazio.
Haley Emery.
Jack Foreman.
Connor Fahey.
Hannah Marie Frankovic.
Adam Farhat.
Duncan Bradley Inahara Fuji.
Madison Elise Faziato.
David Gaida.
Haley Simone Fisher.
Araya Lynn Gardner.
Sarah Elizabeth Frankhouse.
Dharma Geminiani.
Max Fu.
Aiden Gillespie.
Christian Fuller.
Nora Glynn.
Vivian Galindo.
Jared Goddard.
Kiana Isabel Gelman.
Daniela Gomez Carranza.
Vanessa Getchell.
Maya Itzel Gonzalez.
Cormac B. Glynn.
Isabella Gore Rivero.
Claire Elizabeth Go.
Cole Allen Gotcher.
Spencer M. Goldman.
Lily Graham.
Andre Jonel Gonzalez.
Ian Michael Grant.
Lena Julie Gordon.
Aiden Auburn Green.
Jacob L. Gortmaker.
Capucine Grizzo.
Kyle Thomas Gragnola.
Samuel Hamilton Guy.
Eliza Holly Grant.
Maya Chloe Halleck.
George Stiles Green.
Jacob Eli Hamilton.
Joshua Aiden Gregory.
Oscar Philip Harold.
May Evelyn Gwynn.
Ella Marie Haskell.
Marshall Alexander Hall.
Alexis Elizabeth Heald.
Joshua Connor Halverson.
Brandon Hendren.
Lily Ray Hancock.
Kai Martin Hilborn.
Artesia Eleanor Harrison.
Logan Peter Danny Hopkins.
Rory Catherine Hayes.
Connor Clouden Ronald Howes.
Emily Anna Heinrichsen.
Carson Hugo.
Elaine Louise Hergenhan.
Lauciani Van.
Marianne Louise Holtz.
Benjamin Jeffers.
Terrell Howe.
Matthew Jared Johnson.
Caroline Harabel.
William Niall Kay.
Fiona Hutchinson.
Nico Vitali Karasik.
Jalen Haynes Lindley Javorek.
Drew Field Keller.
Wyatt Dale Jankerson.
Samuel S. Kim.
Natasha Jordan.
Connor George King Watt.
Kristen Mary Caliban.
Isabella R. Klosterman.
Ashok Kaushik.
Tilly Knox Warshaw.
Sophia Lily Kemp.
Caleb Kono.
Catherine Anna Kim.
Laurel Margaret Kuhn.
Nick King.
Demetrius Jakari Ladd.
Piper Rose Kittersong.
Sydney Rain Laxon.
Isaac Knox Warshaw.
Bridget Nicole Levesque.
Otis Carlson Constam.
Gen Lee.
Daniel Edward Kovalev.
Patrick J. Liam.
Lindsay Joyce Kurtz.
Wyatt A. Lincoln.
Finn Noel Lawless.
Andrew Liu.
Chloe Lee.
Adrian Lumanovich.
Chelsea Lee.
Madison Joan Lowe.
Aaron M. Leung.
Alida Sine Love Geiger. Estrella Love Geiger.
Shane Anthony Lightburn.
Davis Mark Ma.
Matthew Charles Lindars.
Kai Rowan McKenzie.
Annie Catherine Leishui Liu.
Miles Alexander Scott Madsen Borton.
Gwyn Llewellyn.
Danny Manzano.
Hazel Anais Lucy.
Samuel Clary Martin.
Ashton Robert Mace.
William Wolf Martin.
Chloe Ann Maiden.
Radhika Mashru.
Paul Maleka.
Sophie Marie Mautner.
Martin Margolin.
Quinn Rose McEnroe Fuchs.
Scott Joseph Martin.
Henry George McGettigan.
Caleb L. Martindale.
Rebecca McLean.
Samantha Yanyan Matner.
Michael McPhee.
Bailey Marie McCormick.
Alexandra Melville.
Nathaniel G. McFall.
Alexandra Isabel Miller.
Harrison Stephen John McLean.
Grant Robert Miller.
Patrick Michael McMahon.
Ian Milligan.
Ella Walker Malloy.
Darina Miroyedova.
Elizabeth Miranda.
Sophia Modica.
Hillary Mae Meskamin.
Camilla May Morris.
Erica Miller.
Daisy Maria Mulligan.
Spencer W. Miller.
Tanya Nyoki Munya.
Milana Milosh Manthi.
Princess Justine Nakayama.
Dawson Mitchell.
Reese Nelson.
Jessica Motley.
Ethan Nguyen.
Loy Misafiri.
Nicholas John Osmo.
Ruby Flynn Mullins Keating.
Nina Maria Page.
Petra Lucia Murdoch.
Keon Frederick Palmer.
Mia Isabella Nelson.
Aiden James Partial.
Vivian Iwan Ng.
Faith Moritz Potkins.
James Alexander Nicola.
Amanda Perry.
Jackson Wolfgang Nuss.
Sam Casey Piesner.
William Thomas O'Keefe.
Otto Portsline.
Willow Ostman.
Maya Karen Pressler.
Natalie Padilla.
Parker J. Price.
Sienna Elise Painter.
Samuel Przinski.
Miles Parkel.
Ethan Arya Ronama.
Alexander Eugene Pascal.
Charlotte Owen Reed.
Spencer Meyer Heron.
Anna Marcel Reverman.
Carlin Ava Phillips.
Calvin William Richards.
Maximiliano Pineda.
Gretchen Rudolph.
Olivia S. Powell.
Pearson Thomas Rickley.
Bridget Signa Price.
Ivan Eleazar Sanchez.
Oliver Clash Prince.
Mathilde Scheffler.
Kayla Elizabeth Ray.
Joseph William Schlechter.
Sagarika Ramachandran.
Alexi Schrader.
Walter A. Russell.
Kareem Semed.
Kate Reynolds.
Zara Sherman.
Kaya Richmond.
Ian Joseph Siegel.
Romy Ella Moore Rosen.
Hayden Bishop Slater.
Kobe Reuben Rush.
Justice Boyan Smith.
Michael J. Sashio.
Sierra Rose Smith.
Henry Charles Sanders.
Emma Faye Souls.
Joanna Shimfeso Conejo.
Nicholas Massif Speed.
Sarah Cavell Schneider.
Julian Tenvik Stark. Sorry, man.
Ileana May Schuring.
Charles Maxwell Stearns.
Jordan Nicole Scott.
Olivia Sterling.
Matthew Stephen Scroy.
Cole Leighton Strandberg.
And Andrew John Scheiman.
Samir Suri.
Abraham Gerson Sugar.
Audrey Annie Taylor.
Garrett K. Shimmer.
Sinead Tees.
Mary Skakel.
Joseph Brian Thurston.
Isabel Lauren Slevin.
Senna Titcomb.
Roman Mers Smith.
Jared Evan Torres.
Anna Ruth Sohigian.
Alexandra May Tausi.
Alan Song.
Thomas Gill Turf.
Claire K. Spencer.
Chase David Turner.
John Maurice O'Neill Staver.
Charlotte Louise Underhill.
Nate Stember.
Amanda Michelle Velour.
Mitchell Stoner.
David Vernica.
Brendan Sullivan.
Serena Marie Behel.
Chloe Lee Sutherland.
Sebastian Howard Boyd.
Sage Maylin Taylor.
Kylie Elise Ward.
Alex K. Thompson.
Declan Huxley Whitcraft.
Anna Tillier.
Oliana Williams.
Sophia Madeline Telestash.
Kai Walter Wilson.
Mia Bella Elena Tovar.
David Shu.
Katerina Anastasia Triantafilou.
Selena Yao.
Kieran Lawrence Turnbull.
Nathan Alexander Young.
Jacob Tyler.
Enrique Santiago Segarra Bravo.
Ryan Maxwell Unitan.
Randy Jong.
Garrett Wolfgang Vanderen.
Sophia Zong.
Daniela Marie Vick. Carmen E. Vintro. Sarah Grace Walmsley. Jacob Kunene Burks Warski. Lucy Weber. Trace Colby Wilkinson. Carter Roy Willis. Athanasia Winner. Joshua Kichi Yamanoi. Michael Yu. Zoe Young. Holden Haruki Zemski. Shi-Chi Zhang. Julia Rose Zegler. Maxwell Robert Zimmer.
Emma Zumbo.
Akili Luvu Kelly Kelly. Benjamin Roy Brandenberger.
This year, we are celebrating 15 students who have maintained a perfect 4.0 unweighted GPA during their high school career. They share in the distinction of being named Lincoln High School's valedictorians. Valedictorians will now proceed to the stage for their diplomas.
Daniil Abrazezi.
Liliana Ariel Barnatan.
Kate Halverson Colkind.
Madeline Gochi.
McKenna Law.
Claire Elizabeth Hoganson.
Elon Liu.
Daniel Philip Lewinson.
Raja Mehta Moreno.
Daniel Luong.
Quincy Riley Sells.
Margaret Satchwell.
Marissa Claire Talcott.
Victoria Siegel.
Haley Zanz.
Congratulations, seniors. So we're going to ask that you remain seated just for a few more minutes. Our faculty, they clap our students in and we clap them out. So I'm asking our faculty to please take your posts in the tunnel. Ben and Akili, please come to the podium.
Graduates, please stand.
You may now switch your tassel over to the left side.
I am proud to officially introduce the 2019 graduating class of Lincoln High.
Again, congratulations to the class of 2019. Graduates, please return to your seats so we can follow your senior class presidents out of the arena to pick up your diplomas and meet your family and friends outside.